A double whammy for MAGA extremist Kari Lake. Not only is she about to lose the U.S. Senate race to Ruben Gallego, yes, they're still counting ballots in Arizona, but she's going to lose. But now the Arizona Supreme Court has finally, once and for all, denied her request to overturn the gubernatorial race that she lost 2 years ago. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, state attorney for Palm Beach County, a.k.a. the Florida Law Man, here on the MeidasTouch Network. And Midas, Mighty, I know we could use a dose of good news, and we've got it. Thanks to Mark Elias, amazing lawyer that he is. He's been fighting Kari Lake in Arizona, and Mark Elias does Mark Elias things, like win. So this lawsuit from Kari Lake started after she lost the governor's race 2 years ago. She sued, tried to get the election overturned, saying that illegal votes were cast in the election, saying that the tabulator's rejection of thousands of ballots set off a domino chain of electoral improprieties. The complaint also alleges that Maricopa County ballot printers and tabulator failures created chaos on Election Day. Lake alleges that the defendant's misconduct warrants not only vacatur of the actions that each has taken in the canvassing and certifying the 2022 general election, but also their recusal from any remaining participation in the 2022 general election as Secretary of State and Recorder, respectively, because she went after all these state officials. Many of them were Republicans, like Stephen Risher. I had him on this channel. We were talking about the lawsuit he filed against Kari Lake for defamation, which he won. And now Kari Lake is facing having to pay him. So not only did she lose in front of the Supreme Court on her claim here to overturn the election, not only is she going to lose the U.S. Senate race to Ruben Gallego, but she's also going to have to pay for her defamation against Stephen Risher, the recorder of Maricopa County, one of a few elected officials, Republicans, mind you, who she defamed to try to spread baseless election lies. So back in December 2022, the judge in this case dismissed 8 out of the 10 claims that Lake originally made in her lawsuit. And by the way, this account comes from Mark Elias's Democracy docket. And then following a 2-day trial, back in December of 2022, the judge dismissed the remaining 2 claims. And so that was the end of that. So then she appealed. The Court of Appeals affirmed the dismissal, and then she filed to the Arizona Supreme Court. This all took place in March of 2023, and the Arizona Supreme Court rejected 6 of her 7 claims and set the remaining claim regarding some signature matching questions back to the trial court for additional review, and that remaining claim was dismissed by the trial court. So then in May of 2023, she then filed a notice of appeal to go back up to the appellate court process. She had an oral argument in May of 2024. Then in June of 2024, the Arizona Court of Appeals affirmed the trial court's decision dismissing all of Lake's claims. And then she filed a petition in July asking the Arizona Supreme Court to review the case. Now, this is all while she's running for U.S. Senate. So in one instance, she's trying to overturn the election results where she lost the race for governor, and then at the same time she's asking the voters to vote for her for U.S. Senate. So she's spreading these lies about the first election while she's running for the second election. Sound familiar? But unlike Donald Trump, who actually won the state of Arizona, she got over 100,000 fewer votes in Arizona and lost the U.S. Senate race. And now she's, of course, claiming there must be fraud, right? Her supporters are saying there must be something fishy here if she didn't get the same number of votes as Trump. Well, perhaps the fact that she is known better to Arizonans than Donald Trump, and the people in Arizona don't like her.
You say you care about the fentanyl crisis and our kids.
I care deeply.
Okay, right. So if you care so deeply about this, couldn't you actually do something about it if you stopped the bullshit about the last election? If you had just acknowledged that Trump had lost and acknowledged that you had lost, you'd probably be in good shape to do something. You probably would have won your governor's race had you just talked about things people cared about instead of the election fraud. So sometimes don't you ever think to yourself, I wish I could just stop talking about this fake thing that Donald Trump made me make up so that I could actually talk about the stuff that's important? Because we agree about fentanyl. I agree. I wish we could deal with that.
I talked about that all the time at the campaign trail. I'm sorry you weren't with me. I'm sorry you weren't with me every step of the way. The people of Arizona understand me, and they know me, And they care about me, and I care about them.
You.
So after the petition went to the Supreme Court in July of 2024, it took a few months, but just the other day, the state Supreme Court denied Lake's petition for review. Katie Hobbs remains a lawfully elected governor of Arizona. And to show you what a class act she is, she to this day has never conceded her loss for governor. And I expect she won't concede her loss for U.S. Senate. There's only so many chances you get in politics. So this is the end of the road for Kari Lake. She messed around and she found out. Lost in court, lost in the election, gonna have to pay money for defamation. And perhaps the best part of this is to see the folks from Maricopa County, the most populated county in Arizona, just respond in a big way. I mean, you have a lot of Republicans there, and they just trash Kari Lake. When she filed her last appeal to the state Supreme Court, there was a scathing response for an attorney from Maricopa County. This is what the attorney said. Tom Liddy is his name. Lake's signature verification claim failed because her allegations wrote a check that her proof could not cash. Lake's failure in providing competent evidence to support her claim is no reason to grant review. In the appeal, Wright argued, that's the lawyer for Kari Lake, that Maricopa County didn't conduct the logic and accuracy tests on its ballot tabulators that are required by law, and that the people comparing voter signatures on early and mail-in ballot envelopes approved them too quickly to have actually completed any true signature verification. So much for letting every vote count, right? She's just trying to exclude as many votes as possible by claiming the signatures aren't exact. But the case law on which Lake based her argument meant that her attorneys would have to prove that the county failed to perform any signatures verification at all. And the problem for Kari Lake is that her own witnesses, her own experts at the trial rebutted her claims that the county failed to perform any signature verification. In fact, Liddy pointed out that during her second trial, the court concluded that two of Lake's own witnesses testified that they had personally verified signatures for the county. He added that Lake's signature verification claims didn't fail at trial because the lower court misinterpreted the law, but because of her own attorney's incompetence. Sound familiar? MAGA attorney's incompetence. Yeah, so Midas Mighty, know that the battles are not done, that there are still victories that can be found. And if we stay strong, that better times are ahead for all of us. But not for Kari Lake. She's going down with the ship. And as a prominent Phoenix attorney said about this lawsuit, quote, to paraphrase a quote from Charles Dickens in his 1843 short story, A Christmas Carol, Kari Lake's case is as dead as a doornail. Or, to paraphrase Monty Python in their Dead Parrot skit, Kari Lake's case is bereft of life. Join the choir eternal. Kick the bucket. Bought the farm. Is without any observable metabolic processes. It is not pining for the fjords of Norway. It is dead. Kudos for going from Charles Dickens to Monty Python. Well done. So that is the latest dispatch from Arizona. I'm Dave Aronberg, aka the Florida Lawman. If you like this video, please like, share with a friend, and leave a comment below. I love reading your comments and try to answer as many as I can. Also, check out our sister channel, True Crime MTN. If you're tired of politics, go check us out for some true crime action where we discuss the hottest true crime cases from across the country, like Diddy, like Garth Brooks, like the Brian Koberger quadruple murder case in Idaho. Never a dull day over at True Crime MTN. So I'll see you over there, and I'll see you here next time.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.